This video is going to serve as a walkthrough on some of the different types of medical kits. Eventually we'll go into each one in depth in its own separate video, but just a quick rundown, starting from smaller and working our way towards larger. First start off with just the pretty basic home use first aid kits. A lot of what you're paying for with these is just a ton of band-aids, which is fine because you can potentially use that to build up the supply of bandages for the rest of the kits that you may or may not build, or you can always just supplement this with different components that you might want in addition to just hundreds of different sizes of band-aids. There's some basic stuff in here beyond band-aids, but for the most part a lot of these type of kits you can buy from Walmart, Target, Walgreens, CVS. It's a lot of just bandages. Going up from there, the purpose-built first aid kits, stuff like the Adventure Medical kits. This one specifically is cool because it's waterproof. It's recommended for groups of 1 to 2 people for 1 to 4 days. Some of the components listed on the back. Obviously, it's smaller form factor, and it's a little bit more specialized than something like this. Next, going on to trauma kit. So maybe gunshot wounds or other traumatic injuries, stuff for treating those kinds of issues or injuries being here. Going up from there, the next size up would be a IFAK, individual first aid kit. Obviously it's a little bigger. It's pretty much everything you could need in a very small container. Obviously got extra things strapped to the front. Cool thing about both of this style of pouch is it's MOLLE webbing on the back, so you can attach it to whatever bag or backpack you want. If you'd like it to be quick release, then if you leave that off, tie it up behind, and just grab this handle and Velcro pull off of the attachment point to the backpack if you want it to be easily separated to be used either personally or by someone else. This bag is the same thing, and if you would like to be permanently attached, then you just attach this buckle and it will stay on the backpack even if you pull the handle. Going on from there, the more specialized, like we talked about this before in the walk around of the truck, but specifically for like off-road use and the types of injuries you'd encounter doing that or camping, because of the environment they're going to be in. It's crush proof, dust proof, waterproof, dirt proof, which makes sense. If you're off-roading or camping, it'd be nice to keep that stuff clean, dry, and also a little bit better protected from heat and cold because of the airtight heavy-duty container. We've walked through this before. You can find that in the walk around of my wife's truck. The next size up is that black medical roll there in the middle. It's a lot of the same components as what's in my full-size home first aid kit. It's just easier to get the components out of and easier to see because of the way it's organized. Each of these pouches is see-through. You can obviously see what you need and unzip the pouch, get what you need out quickly and easily. And then if you want to hang it, it's got a hook here at the top where you can hang it from whatever you want so that you can quickly get in and out of the container. We talked about this before during the hurricane preparedness kit. Just quickly show you again. I don't think we're gonna make another video about this one because it already has been covered, like I said, but this is what's in it. It's very well laid out, easy to read. First aid guide in reorder form. If you want to individually reorder these off of Amazon, you can just type in the model numbers. But pretty basic and a good way of supplementing a first aid kit for like home use, because it's not just 100% all sorts of every imaginable size of bandage. And once we've talked through each of these other smaller first aid kits, we'll eventually get onto this full-size first aid kit. This is kind of work in progress, and yours will be too. Add to and take things out of as you see necessary. Obviously, it's completely fully packed. I can't get anything else in here, but there's still other things that I would like to have put in. So maybe start with an even bigger bag if you're going to be building a very thorough, comprehensive first aid kit so that you don't run out of space like I do. But if you don't necessarily know what you're doing 100%, then something like that is definitely be a good supplement. Bill cleanup kit won't fit. It's too big of a container, but keep it with the first aid kit in case you need it. And then other small things here and there if you want to keep smaller portions of some of these kits as a way to supplement what might be missing out of this kit. You can also do things like, if you don't have space or means of getting actual oxygen bottles, this is better than nothing. Talk a little bit more about uses for that, but obviously doesn't need to take up a bunch of space if you just keep it with the first aid kit. If your first aid kit has MOLLE webbing attachment points, then you can just attach pouches like this. You could argue that keeping emergency water with the first aid kit might be a good use of the medications that you might have inside. So with that, like I said, it's just an outline of what we're eventually be covering in this series of first aid kits.